It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
It's another season of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo Pregame Show. Rich Gaenzler and my cohort, Jared Shatkin, back at it, and we are so excited about this season and so much going on throughout the show today. We're going to start with the roster breakdown. We're going to start, Jared, with the offense first, and I want to talk about what happens with good teams in the league. What happens with good teams in the league is that people that aren't in the town, that are like we are here in Buffalo, they want to break us down and create controversy as much as they possibly can. And it started back in the OTAs with the Alan Diggs thing from last year, and somebody decides to carry it over to the OTAs. We know what happened and what's happened since then. But what do you make of it to this point? I feel personally that their relationship is really healthy at this point, at least from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I bet they do have a pretty healthy relationship, but I also don't think it's a bad thing to have a fiery captain in the locker room like Stefon Diggs, who knows the standard has to be higher if we want to win a Super Bowl. Right now, Stefon Diggs is a captain, and the reason he's a captain is because the people in that room respect him. So what he says matters, and when he makes a little bit of a, not a scene, he didn't make a scene, he just really, I think it wasn't as big of a Allen and Diggs aren't getting along, and it's more of Stefon Diggs wants everybody to be committed to the end goal, and that end goal is to win a Super Bowl for him.
Yeah, for sure. So let's continue with the quarterback talk here, because a lot of the quarterback talk, this is a good problem to have, was who's going to be the backup? Yeah. And I maintain that in the NFL, the backup, with a couple of exceptions, Brock Purdy being one of them, rarely is important to an NFL team. If your star player, ideally Josh Allen for the Bills, gets hurt, I don't care who the backup's going to be. I don't care how many games they've started in the league, unless you coach him up and get him comfortable in that offense and get him to a point where he can win at least half of the games he plays, provided our quarterback was out for an extended amount of games. Otherwise, it just doesn't matter. So it's good that that was the conversation, because everything else was okay. But I just was confused as to why there was so much importance put into the backup.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, over those years, what did we have? Did Jeff Sorgi for the Colts see any time, or Curtis Painter? Like, what are we talking about here? Peyton Manning was the number one quarterback for the Colts, and if he got hurt, their season was over. If Josh Allen gets hurt, guess what? Our season is probably over. So don't plan on him getting hurt.
Running backs, let's move forward. Now, James Cook here, full-time. We think he's going to be the number one. Damian Harris, from my money, a great addition at running back to sort of balance out between the speed of Cook and the power of Harris. And then, of course, Latavius Murray, short yardage with Josh. I love the running back room. What about you?
I do like that running back room, because there's a mix of guys who I think do a little bit of different things better than others. I think Damian Harris is more of a running back in the traditional sense, where you can hand it off to him. He's going to go north and south, and I think he can make a little bit happen too. He's got a little bit of shake to him. Latavius Murray is that big back that can get in there, goal line situations. I don't know who's taking him down. And then James Cook is just, I think he's a really versatile guy. I think at the end of last year, he showed that he's pretty explosive. So those three, I think for what we're paying for them, where other running backs are trying to demand, I think we have ourselves a really good running back room.
All right, stay with the skill position. Let's go to the receivers now. Obviously, Diggs, Davis named a captain. You mentioned the captains a couple minutes ago. He's part of the mix. Sherfield's looked great for the Bills. Hardy has looked like an excellent weapon based on his skill set. Then you throw in Dalton Kincaid into the mix. I like the receiver room too, whether it's wide out or tight end at this point.
And you remember last year, we're talking on the show, we got to bring John Brown and Cole Beasley. We got young guys now in positions that are sturdy, and it feels like that Beasley position is going to be taken over by a group of guys who are consistent and they want to win and they're good teammates. Trent Sherfield comes here. He already buys a house in Buffalo. He's committed to the team. He's learning the playbook. He talks like he's going to be a captain someday. We got Dalton Kincaid, he's had 12 straight catches in a college football game against the University of Southern California. I don't know if they're keen on him at that point. This guy is very talented, and he's going to be able to do a lot in this league. And then a guy like Hardy, who has the speed and also the hands, where you see McKenzie last year had some inconsistencies. We got a guy that has sort of the same skill set as McKenzie, but is a little more consistent with his hands.
Yeah, and we failed to even mention Dawson Knox.
Oh, yeah.
Who you got to believe is going to be part of the offense as well. And then finally, offensively, the O-line. My most significant question mark on the offensive line is probably Spencer Brown at right tackle. He's been inconsistent. He comes off injury. He was a little bit inconsistent in the preseason as well. And I thought it was interesting that Torrance was put at right guard. Now, that was a position he played in college, so I get it. They didn't want to switch him up coming into training camp and make him learn another position necessarily. But for me, Torrance next to Dawkins might have been a little bit better. And now with him on the right side where he's more natural, again, with Spencer Brown on that side, I feel like he's going to have to help out Spencer Brown more than maybe the Bills would have liked.
Yeah, and I think Spencer Brown did take a step back last year. I know he had some injuries, so maybe he can get healthy again, but you're right. There were some times in the preseason even where he was getting beat by guys who he probably shouldn't have got beat by. We might have to help him with a little bit of chipping, maybe some more two tight end sets. I think that is probably the weakness on our O-line, but the rest of the O-line I think we're pretty good at. I think Mitch Morris is a consistent center. Our guard play, even with Ryan Bates rotating through, I'm pretty confident in that. Dawkins has had some ups and downs recently, but I think Josh can make up for a lot of issues with the offensive line. So that's why I think the Bills decided not to go in a place where they're going to throw a ton of money in the offensive line. They didn't really have a ton of money anyway to throw in the offensive line, but they drafted guys who are consistent veterans who are going to be pretty solid and good and people you can count on. And I think that's kind of the way they're going to do it from here on out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, great job. We'll get to the defense coming up next as we continue with the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
Cheese! Say cheese with confidence again with Shatkin Dental Health. Smiles come in different shapes and sizes, and Shatkin Dental Health provides superior dental care for all. Yes, we take most dental insurances and have very affordable programs and patient specials for you and your family. So get your cheese on with Shatkin Dental Health. Call us today at 43 Smile for a free consultation.
We lead our way towards the opener on Monday night against the Jets with the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show in segment 2 of this episode. Rich Gaenzler, Jared Shatkin. We are now going to talk about the Bills' 2023 defense. We talked about the offense in the first segment. Now we're going to switch over to the other side of the football. Interesting, Jared, in the first segment, we talked a little bit about the O-line, and I mentioned you off camera that Ryan Bates was listed as a starting right guard on the Bills' depth chart on their website this week, which I thought was kind of curious. I'm going to tell you a couple of other defensive positions where the starters on the depth chart might be odd as well. We'll get to that in a second. Let's start first. We'll go position by position. Let's go to the line of scrimmage. Obviously, in that Bengal game, say what you want about why and what team showed up, but that Bengal game, especially the defensive line, got obliterated. They get Poona Ford in the offseason. They get Leonard Floyd in the offseason, which is interesting with Vaughn on the pup to start the season. What do you make of the D-line? I felt like against the run, generally, they were really good last year. Pressure is going to be key. And what do you make of not only Floyd, but also Rousseau maybe taking another leap and step in the rush game, in the pressure game this year?
I like the signing of Leonard Floyd because he's a tall, athletic guy who plays kind of a similar role to Greg Rousseau. And I think he's a guy that has starting experience and can step in there while Von Miller is out and give the defense a little bit of a jump. The rest of the D-line, I'm pretty confident in. I like Poona Ford a lot. I think he's a lot better of a player than they had on his Madden ratings. He was like a 72. Didn't love that. Maybe Ed Oliver is ready to take the jump. I don't mind anything we have on our D-line. I think we built it right. I think that's kind of where you want to put the core of your defense right now in the NFL, and I like where they're going there.
Yeah, for sure. Linebacker, obviously the elephant in the room, right? On the depth chart, it's Bernard and Dodson starting at middle linebacker. So they clearly haven't made up their mind in terms of the depth chart and who's going to start against the Jets. Now, I give them a lot of credit for that. Obviously, the Jets are going to be able to game plan with whoever they say is on the depth chart if they're going to go by that. But needless to say, one of those two guys is going to play middle. They're both arguably undersized and more athletic, certainly than Edmonds was. But remember what happened with Edmonds a lot last year and in his career in Buffalo, and he's a massive dude. He got caught up in the wash a lot, or he'd overrun plays a lot. Those are things a lighter guy is going to have even more problems with ideally. So I don't know what they're going to do with middle linebacker. It kind of scares me a little bit. What about you?
I'm definitely really worried about middle linebacker. I didn't think Dotson really should have made the team the way he played in camp. I thought A.J. Klein had a chance to at least get into the rotation. I was a little upset that he got cut and surprised. I think the real wild card here is what can Terrell Bernard do? If Terrell Bernard can play a significant role, be the athletic guy he was in college, then I understand why they didn't do anything at linebacker, but besides that, it does concern me a little bit in the middle.
And certainly you got Damian Williams. They just bring in Christian Kirksey, who actually might be able to play a little in the middle if you need him. But clearly Milano's all world, right? We have nothing to worry about when it comes to Milano. But your other linebacker, for me, I could see the Bills at times going almost quarters defensively, maybe playing Taylor Rapp a lot as sort of more of a run defender than a coverage guy, and playing I can see a four-man line, a one linebacker guy, and then six other DBs. I can see that a lot this year.
Yeah, and I think that's not a bad thing anymore in the NFL because you're going to need some DBs out there. If they're going to play five wide, and we know the Jets are going to be playing five wide a lot week one, I think Taylor Rapp is kind of the wild card spot there where he's going to take some snaps from the middle linebackers, and that's probably a good thing because if we got to stop the run, Dotson's not a bad player. But anything else, he's probably going to get exposed in the passing game, and we don't know what Terrell Bernard really could do. So,
or Dorian Williams.
Or Dorian Williams had a great preseason, though. I will give him that.
So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be a work in progress all season long. The other interesting thing about the depth chart, we were talking off camera. You said, who's going to be CB2? Mm-hmm. Again, let's go to the Bills depth chart on their website this week. There's 3 different players listed at CB2.
Yeah.
That, of course, would be Elam and Benford and obviously Dane Jackson.
Yeah.
So maybe the Bills don't even know who's going to play that position, and maybe it's some sort of a rotation.
Yeah, I'm not quite as concerned about that position, though, because I think kind of all 3 guys can get in there and play a good role. I think, Elam, despite some struggles, he played some pretty good snaps last year, and he's pretty athletic, and I'm not ready to write him off right now. But if you were to tell me you get Christian Bedford and Kaiir Elam out of that draft, those are both 2 pretty good corners. And Bedford, to me, looked really solid in that Chicago game when he started, and he had some really solid snaps last year as well. And then Dane Jackson has kind of just, been steady ever since he's been here. Even when Trey White was out in 2021, Dane Jackson stepped up pretty heavily. So that spot I'm not too worried about. I'm really confident in our pass defense.
How worried are you about, and obviously the safety group is healthy, thank God, coming off last year, but how worried are you about Trey White getting back to what he was pre-injury?
Yeah, that was a worry last year, and it turned out to be a good idea. That was a worry because he did not come back full speed. But from all reports, he's been looking really good in training camp, and I think we're ready to see a better Trey White this year.
Let's hope so. Very quickly, coaching. Any more confidence in Ken Dorsey this year as opposed to last?
I'm more confident in the offensive players than the play caller. I think last year Dorsey got a little bit stale, but I think some of it was because of Josh Allen's elbow and his injury. So I think I'm definitely confident in the offense. I don't have any doubts about it. I'm not sure if it's because of Ken Dorsey or the players, but I think it's more the players. But, yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Then, of course, defensively, the other big story is Sean McDermott will call the defense. Now, he's insulated himself with Al Holcomb and Eric Washington, an assistant head coach and a defensive specialist, if you will. So it's going to be interesting to see what we see, if they're a little bit more aggressive and if they don't just sit back like we got used to under a Leslie Frazier defense, right?
Yeah, we could say all we want about Leslie Frazier. We did have a top defense in the league for a lot of years to come, but I think at the end it got a little bit predictable, and I think the Bengals took advantage of that. So I like just the little switch-ups that McDermott has in our defense this year. I think we're going to be blitzing a lot more, getting more pressure on the quarterback, so we're going to have to be up to the test in the back end, but I'm excited to see what he has in store.
So we've talked about what's at Highmark Stadium and in Buffalo. Next up, we're going to talk about everybody else, the Bills' 2023-24 schedule, which is brutal top to bottom. We'll get into that and pick all the games when we come back on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin, the Clinical Director here at the new Shatkin Dental Health Postgraduate Dental Residency Program. For years, I've felt there's been a need to help those patients who just can't afford quality care but want to be treated in a private dental office setting. Shatkin Dental Health will save you 20 to 30% on the procedures you need without compromising the care you deserve.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile and receive a dental cleaning and x-rays for only $43. And as always, consultations are free.
It's bad going through life having to cover your face because you're embarrassed of your teeth. I wasn't comfortable at all. I didn't want dentures. I had the fixed on 6 done. It was easy. It literally changed my life. I can eat anything now. I can smile, I laugh. I don't have to cover my face anymore. It was awesome.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Jared Shatkin. We're going to get into the schedule now. Save your Monday night pick for when we break down the Jets for the final segment, all right? But we're going to go game by game and go wins and losses and determine, and I might have to do this by hand just to make sure we know what we're doing here, just to make sure we know who's picking who. So we'll skip the Jets Monday night game for our next segment when we break down the game in particular. So we'll go to week 2 then. Yep. Home against the Raiders. Win or loss, and why?
Oh, that's going to be a win.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a win because the Raiders have they have a lot of turmoil in their organization. I'm pretty confident in that one.
At Washington in week 3.
That's going to be a win.
Yeah, it should be, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Home against Miami.
That's still a win for me.
Still a win for you. Yeah. I'm also going to go a win as well. Neutral site London Jacksonville game, and we don't know really what Jacksonville is. Obviously, we saw some greatness at the end of that year, obviously with that amazing playoff comeback from the Jaguars a year ago, and people are expecting even better from them this year. But are they that same team? It's going to be interesting to find out. What do you think?
I still think the Bills are going to win this game. I really do. You know, I see Jacksonville is kind of slow off the blocks early, usually during the season. I just am not really confident in the Jaguars compared to us.
All right, you're off to a 5-0 start for the – well, actually, I didn't get the Jets. Yeah. 4-0 minus the Jets game. All right, let's get to the Giants. That would be Sunday Night Football against Brian Daboll and the Giants. Obviously, a lot of emotion considering the fact he was here as the OC and did all the things we all are aware of, and now at the Giants in his second full year as the head coach there. What do you make of that game?
Yeah, listen, I love Brian Daboll, but they're still a little behind us. That's a win for the Bills.
All right.
Yeah, that's a win.
At New England on October the 22nd. Now, I maintain Mac Jones has to be better, does he not? He doesn't have Matt Patricia calling the plays for him this year. Now, granted, he doesn't have a game-breaking wideout or tight end on his team, but –
well, they said they have Juju Smith-Schuster and his knee's about to explode.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they said Bills are going to win.
Bills, okay. The Bills are at least 6-0 now, and I'm with you all the way through this. Tampa Bay, home, Thursday Night Football. So do this math, 4 days between the Patriot game on the road and the Bucs game here. It's Baker Mayfield. Come on, that's a no-brainer, right?
I mean, he's one of the worst teams in the league. Give us 1 day. I think we still win.
At Cincinnati, Sunday Night Football. This is interesting. The way that the schedule is playing out is really pretty amazing because we get an 11-day break between Tampa and Cincinnati, and then you'll find out later it's the bye and then Kansas City. So we get almost 2 weeks for both Cincinnati and Kansas City, but we're on the road against Cincinnati. What do you think?
I hate to say it. I think this could be a loss just because – you know, Cincinnati matches up pretty good against the Bills.
They sure do. Home against Denver, Monday Night Football, another long layoff. This is, again, a weird schedule. It's not 6 days between games. There's 4 games. There's 11 days. There's all these days, and it's not going to be a very consistent schedule for the Bills at all, which is going to put a lot on the coaching staff, obviously, to have them ready week in and week out. And I will say, this is the 1 year when you have to go 1 game at a time. You cannot overlook anybody in the schedule this year. So, home against Denver, Monday Night Football. Sean Payton, the head coach there with Russell Wilson. Does he make him better enough to win on the road in Buffalo? I say no.
I say no.
I will also take the Bills winning
I'm going to go Bills.
Home against the Jets. So, obviously, they would have played him on the road in week 1. And Aaron Rodgers comes back. What do you make of that game?
This one I'm a little up in the air in. I'm going to go with a win because it's still the Jets. I need to see him do it. I need to see what Rodgers has left in the tank and what's around him.
All right, the Eagles won the NFC and obviously did incredible things a year ago. The Bills at the Eagles, Thanksgiving weekend. What do you make of that game, a 4:25 start? I know where I'm leaning, and it's not good.
No, it's a loss for me, too. It's a loss. The Eagles have a really stacked roster, and at Philly, I think we're pretty even teams, but at Philly, we could have some trouble.
Okay, bye week. Then at Kansas City, December 10th. Of course, it seems like every year we're going to Kansas City, but that is just the way the schedule makers break it down. So what do you make of the Chiefs game on the road?
I mean, we've won on the road recently in the regular season, so I'm going to take the Bills in this game. I think we keep that trend going. After a bye week, we keep beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead in the regular season. I think it continues.
Okay, I'm gonna give them a loss there because I got way too many wins at this point in my brain.
Yeah.
Dallas home, December 17th. What do you think of the Cowboys coming in?
Cowboys could be on a little bit of a heater. I think I'm going to take the Cowboys in this one because I think after an emotional win at the Chiefs, which I think we're going to have, I think we're due for a letdown. I think Cowboys might be one, but the good thing is that's an NFC team, so a letdown isn't going to kill us there.
That's right. I'm going to take a win over the Cowboys. Chargers on the road Saturday night, a couple days before Christmas. What do you make of that game in L.A.?
Yeah, that's a tough game. I think we're going to win that game, though. I think so.
Go ahead. I'm going to take a loss on that one.
All right.
Home against New England on New Year's Eve.
We're going to win.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would agree.
even if Kyle Allen is starting, we're going to win that one.
And then at Miami to wrap up the season. We still don't know what day that's going to happen on, but the week of the 7th. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is far in the future. We're assuming Tua's healthy. I'm going to assume he's not healthy, so I'm going to say we're going to win.
I like that theory because Tua is obviously for them. He will make or break their season.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're a super talented team. So I am going to go with the Bills at Miami.
Yeah,
okay.
I might have too many wins in there, but
That's okay. I got 5 losses, and we'll see how the Monday night game goes. When we talk about it next, it's the Bills and the Jets, Monday Night Football to kick off 23-24 on 9/11 in New York. Aaron Rodgers, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. We'll pregame it coming up next on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I'm Princess Glitterhead. I was in pain my whole life with my teeth. I want to feel better. What could I do? I could actually go all the way and actually fix myself, be healthy, get rid of all the decay. So I made a free consultation appointment. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go get my teeth back. And I can see it helping so many people, including myself. It's gonna change your life. It really does. Wow. Oh my God.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I don't know why I'm so emotional about it.
My self-esteem wasn't where it should have been because I was really, really self-conscious about my teeth. When I walked into Shatkin Dental, I was instantly ready for the residency program. I knew that that is what I needed. I needed the discount. I needed the dentist that was going to fix everything. My self-esteem is already getting much, much, much higher just from starting the procedures.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile for quality dental care you can afford.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Time to talk about the other team's quarterback from the quarterback perspective as we go in the pocket. All right, here we go. In the pocket, we bring the segment back, and we're so happy to have Sam Castronova back. Congratulations to you, Jacksonville Sharks in the National Arena League. Most valuable player, man. Congratulations. How awesome was that for you?
It was a great experience. A lot of weird stuff happened at the beginning of the season in Albany with Antonio Brown, and somehow end up down in Jacksonville, but it was awesome. We won every game I played in, won the championship, and it was a lot of fun.
So cool. And obviously, a lot of people watched, and hopefully a lot of things will come from that for you in your professional career looking forward.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, having a lot of fun playing the game, trying to support my family, but at the same time, my agent thinks that some opportunities could be open. I went down during the season. 2 days before a game to Dallas for the XFL Combine. The Rock was there, all that stuff. It was pretty cool. But yeah, hoping some doors will open here soon.
Awesome, man. So we talk about this being from the quarterback's perspective. You're the quarterback. You got to talk Aaron Rodgers, and what is there more to say about Aaron Rodgers than sort of the obvious about him?
It's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The guy's one of the best throwers of the football the game's ever seen. He's kind of streaky sometimes, but if he gets hot, I mean, look out. So this game Monday night's nervous to me, but I'm looking forward to it.
Football smart. He's very savvy. You know, he's got his good buddy Nate Hackett coaching their offense. So.
And 2 of his receivers from his team
That's
last
right,
year.
Lazard and
Cobb.
Sure, for sure. Again, we're going to see you all year long. Congratulations again. We can't wait for more.
Yes, sir. Very glad to be back.
Well, the league, Jared, and welcome back, by the way, to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show, did a nice job of torturing Bills fans by making us be the last game of opening week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they sure did.
Bills-Jets Monday Night Football, 9-11 in New York. Allen, Rodgers, golf buddies. Rodgers new in New York. I mean, this is insane, and what a setup. And I maintain, ratings-wise, this might be one of the highest-rated games maybe ever. How do you break it down?
It's really hard for me to break down, too, because we didn't really see too much action out of the Jets or the Bills in the preseason. So I'm definitely nervous of this Jets team. They have weapons. They got weapons on the offense, on the defense. But I think, you know, this is going to be an awesome game, one that you're going to want to rewatch. It's week 1. There's going to be overreactions. It's going to be on 9/11. It's going to be a crazy environment out there. And I'm just really excited to see how it goes.
Lots of questionables for this game. Hall, Hardman, Lazard, Vera Tucker, Carl Lawson on the defensive side of the football. Look, they held the Bills, and we talked about this a little bit before the show. Josh's elbow, not great in the 2 games, which they split, the Jets and Bills. And the Jets only allowed 37 points to a team that was averaging close to that the rest of the year. So that, to me, is a statement. That to me says with Wilson and with Mike White as your quarterback, you're able to beat the Bills, at least one of those 2 games, and play them close in the other one. That's what makes this game scary, knowing that they have a future Hall of Famer as their quarterback on Monday night.
Yeah, they have a lot of weapons on the defensive side, and you know, I think we have a lot of weapons on the offensive side. I'm definitely worried about their defense. I'm worried about guys like Sauce Gardner. You know, Reed is a great cornerback as well. They really don't have too many holes there, but the Bills don't have too many holes in our offense. So it's kind of a situation where we got good on good, and let's see how it goes.
Now, what do you think? You first, Bills or Jets, and give me a score.
I think the Bills are going to come out with this one. I have a lot of confidence in the Bills. I think we're going to win this one 24-21. I think there is going to be some good defense played on both sides here.
I'm going to go Jets. I know. 23-21. Again, an incredible game, one that people are going to look at and watch for years to come. So I will take the Jets. I just feel I can't see the Bills being 15-2 against the schedule that they're going up against with so many question marks, especially on the defense. At any rate, that's week 1 in the books. Thanks to Sam Castronova, Jared, thank you. Great job. And to Dr. Todd Shatkin, Shatkin Dental Health, and the Athletic Associates for bringing the show to you. We're here every week, folks, so tell people about it and tell them to watch every week as the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show will return again in advance of the Raiders game in week 2. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Go Bills.
If you would like to be a participant in the Shatkin First Down Huddle, email Mark Aarons at maarons@shatkinfirst.com. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.